As the Indiana Fever tweeted out, she's the most prolific passer in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark has set the all-time single-season assist record with 317 and counting.
Is the WNBA faking Caitlin Clark's assists? That's the hot debate lighting up basketball Twitter right now. Some fans are calling foul on Clark's record-breaking season, saying her assists don't count. But here's the thing, the rules might surprise you. Let's break down what's really going on with this assist controversy. Caitlin Clark is on fire, breaking records left and right. But guess what? People are saying her assists aren't real. Can you believe it? It's like the whole basketball world is going crazy. Fans are fighting online, and it's turning into a full-on basketball civil war out there.
Now, besides the point that 317 is also the area code in Indianapolis, how do you put in perspective just how impressive what Clark has already done in her rookie year?
You know what's even crazier? This isn't just about Clark. It's got everyone asking, are these assists legit, or is something fishy going on in the WNBA? We're about to find out the truth. Get ready, because this assist drama is about to get wild. Now, let's talk about what really counts as an assist. You might think you know, but the WNBA has its own playbook. Ever seen a player take 2 dribbles after catching a pass and still get their teammate an assist? In some leagues, that's a no-go, but here, it's changing the game. The WNBA's rulebook is like a whole different beast when it comes to assists. They're not playing by the same rules as everyone else, and it's got fans scratching their heads. Here's the deal. In the WNBA, a player can catch a pass, take a couple dribbles, and still score.
You think about the assists, I've said this before, but the facilitation that Caitlin Clark has, I think, is one of the more underrated skill sets that she came into the WNBA with.
And guess what? The passer still gets credit for an assist. That's wild, right? Let's break it down with a real example. Remember that play with Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell? Clark passes the ball, Mitchell takes 2 dribbles, then scores. In most leagues, that's just Mitchell doing her thing, but in the WNBA, boom, assist for Clark. It's plays like these that have some fans losing their minds. You're probably thinking, 2 dribbles? That's not an assist. And in some leagues, you'd be right. But the WNBA's got its own style. They're saying, hey, if that pass led to a bucket, it counts.
It is wildly impressive, and there are even potentially more records to come. But when you think about did see her turnovers pretty high early on, but she has more than adjusted to the WNBA.
It's not just about the immediate shot anymore. It's about creating opportunities, even if it takes a second to develop. Now, this isn't just about Caitlin Clark. This rule is changing the game for everyone in the WNBA. Think about it. Players who are great at setting up their teammates might be racking up way more assists than they would in other leagues. It's like the WNBA is saying, we see you playmakers. We see what you're doing out there. But here's where it gets tricky. Some fans are saying this makes the stats meaningless. They're arguing that if you can take multiple dribbles and still get your teammate an assist, then what's the point? It's turning into a real debate about what these numbers actually mean. On the flip side, others are saying this is just how the WNBA rolls. One commentator put it like this: if you want to make the argument that Caitlin Clark shouldn't deserve 330 assists, then cool. But we have to just not look at this through the lens of a Caitlin Clark hater, because every single player in the NBA in the WNBA has played with the same scorekeeping. So what does this all mean for the game? Well, it's changing how we look at playmaking in the WNBA. It's not just about quick passes and immediate shots anymore. It's about creating opportunities, even if they take a second to develop. Players who can see the court and set up their teammates are getting more credit for their vision. Speaking of vision, imagine if we could see through the stats. What if I told you that some people think Clark's assist total could drop by 260? That's not just a small adjustment, it's a game changer. But before you jump to conclusions, there's more to this story than meets the eye. Let's break down what the critics are saying. They're claiming that Clark's real assist count might be way lower than what's on the books. We're talking about a potential drop of 260 assists. That's huge, right? It's like saying half of her passes don't count. But hold up. Before we get all worked up, let's look at the bigger picture. Here's the thing, every player in the WNBA plays by the same rules. It's not like Clark's getting special treatment. If her assists count, then everyone else's do too. So why are people so focused on her numbers? Maybe it's because she's just that good at setting up her teammates. Now, let's talk about something called hockey assists. Yeah, that's a real thing in basketball, and it's pretty important. A hockey assist is when you make a pass that leads to an assist. It's like the assist before the assist. And guess what? Clark is leading the league in these types of plays. That's not just luck, it's skill. You know what's crazy? Some people are so focused on counting assists that they're missing the real story. It's not just about the numbers, it's about how Clark makes her team better. She's not just passing the ball, she's creating opportunities. She's seeing plays before they happen. That's next level stuff. Let's put it this way, if you're only looking at the assist column in the stat sheet, you're missing out on a lot. Clark's impact on the game goes way beyond that. She's changing how teams play defense. She's making her teammates better, and she's doing it all as a rookie. That's insane. But here's where it gets really interesting. Some fans are saying all this focus on assist numbers is just a way to discredit Clark. They're saying, look, you don't need an assist record to see that she's the best playmaker in the WNBA. Just watch the games. And you know what? They might have a point. Think about it. When you're watching a game, you're not counting assists. You're seeing how players move, how they create space, how they make their teammates better. That's what Clark does. She's not just racking up numbers, she's changing the game. You've seen the highlights, but have you noticed the subtle chess moves? While everyone's focused on Clark's assist totals, they're missing the real magic happening on the court. What if her greatest strength isn't even visible in the box score? Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's true superpower, her basketball IQ. This girl's not just racking up assists, she's playing 4D chess out there. You know what's crazy? While everyone's arguing about assist numbers, they're missing the real show. Clark's not just passing the ball, she's reading the game like a book. Every move she makes is setting up something bigger. It's like she's got a crystal ball, seeing plays before they even happen. That's not something you can measure with stats. Now, let's compare her to someone like Chelsea Gray. Gray's known for those flashy passes that make highlight reels, but Clark, she's all about making the smart play. It might not look as fancy, but it's way more effective. She's not trying to show off, she's trying to win. You want to know what's really wild? Some people are trying to downplay what Clark's doing. They're nitpicking every little thing, but here's a thought. Maybe they're just scared. When you're that good, people will look for any reason to bring you down. But let's be real for a second. Clark's impact goes way beyond assist numbers. She's changing how teams play defense. They can't just focus on stopping her shot. They've got to worry about her setting up every player on the court. That's game-changing stuff. Think about it like this. Clark's not just playing basketball, she's conducting an orchestra. Every player on her team is an instrument, and she knows exactly when to bring each one in. That's not something you can teach. It's pure talent, and it's why she's so special. You know what's even crazier? This is just the beginning. Clark's a rookie, and she's already playing like this. Imagine what she'll be like in a few years. She's not just breaking records, she's redefining what it means to be a playmaker in the WNBA. So next time you watch Clark play, don't just look at the stat sheet. Watch how she moves without the ball. See how she creates space for her teammates. Notice how the entire defense shifts just because she's on the court. That's the real magic.